Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from a wet and rainy part of the Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be when you think you weren't good enough. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So first of all, I get asked this question so frequently. Many times when I'm speaking with individuals, they ask themselves, like, why wasn't I good enough? Let me jump right in right now and ask you, what is good enough? Think about that. You see, you, the person watching this video, and again, thank you very much for being here, you have always been good enough. And to place yourself up against another individual and comparing yourself post-narcissistic relationship, I get that. It is natural, especially if the relationship has ended recently, because you're wondering, you most likely don't know what narcissism is. You don't know what you were up against: triangulation, gaslighting, stonewalling, the smear campaign, on. And I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm letting you know, for a period of time, it is natural to wonder what you did or did not have and why the narcissist went with a new supply, for example. The truth of the matter is, this is a blessing in disguise. You've always been enough. You've always had more than enough. And the narcissist saw this in you. That is exactly why they sank their dirty fangs into you. And that's why you most likely fell in love with them or became attached to them. Now, again, what is enough? Enough is a very arbitrary sentence. Like, can you ever have enough money? I don't know. If you do have enough money, can you spend it in one lifetime? Probably not. If you understand what I'm saying, enough is, it's up to you. But when you're comparing yourself with an individual, first of all, if you've healed and you've already processed the relationship, my hope is you're not comparing yourself with anybody. I certainly don't, and it's not a good idea. It's not healthy. Yet the second thing is, if the relationship ended for you recently, I get it. You have a mountain of work ahead of you. You have to process the glossary, the terms, the definitions on the narcissistic abusive cycle. You have to understand why you were in the relationship, why you stayed so long, what part you played in it, and that this person is a narcissist and or toxic individual, and that perhaps they never loved you, never had your best interest at heart, and all they wanted to do was extract your resources from you. All these things I mentioned on the channel, but this thumbnail, this video is about when you think you weren't good enough. You've always been good enough. If you weren't good enough, you wouldn't be here on the channel getting the wisdom, getting the education, dropping comments, and sharing your insight and experience with the community. The narcissist, when they met you, they knew exactly what they had in you. They found a diamond in the rough. They found a beautiful empath, somebody who would continue to contribute to the relationship to a fault. Perhaps you were a people pleaser, a yes person. Perhaps you had no boundaries. You couldn't say the magic word no, which again is the strongest word in the English language. And when you say no to something, you're saying yes to yourself. But having said all these things, you've always been enough. There will be moments in time when you will compare to yourself. Wow, what could I have done more? What should I have done? Wasn't I enough? You've always been enough. Let's take the narcissistic relationship and put it on the side for a minute. Think about it. Throughout life, have you been in environments where you felt perhaps you didn't belong, you didn't fit in, or in a school setting that perhaps you were taking a class that didn't quite benefit you, but you had to do it because that's what the curriculum told you to do? Those are examples. Now, when I'm saying that is because not everything on the planet is going to make you feel at home. It's not going to make you feel genuine or authentic. When you are in your own skin and you're comfortable, specifically post-narcissistic relationship, once you've healed, that's when you're living your best life. That's when you are comfortable. That's when there is no drama, no stress. That's when you know that you were good enough. That's when you know that you are good enough. And that's when you know you will always be good enough. Keep this in mind. When you were with the narcissist, they wanted you in the narcissistic fog. They did not want you knowing anything about narcissism. They didn't want you knowing anything about what was going on. What they did want is they wanted you to continue to work for the relationship, to continue to spin around on that hamster wheel working for them while they were extracting your resources, which includes your time, your money, your energy, your effort, your love, your empathy, your social circle, your status, everything about you, your physical health, until they found your replacement. And I mention that frequently because people need to get the message that the narcissistic relationship is a one-way relationship headed towards Destructionsville, and it doesn't benefit you. It only benefits the narcissist. But getting back on track, were you good enough? When you're wondering, was I good enough? What didn't I offer? You've offered everything. The thing is, the narcissistic relationship, it came to a head. Remember, each narcissistic relationship has an expiration date. And this one, most likely, if you're watching the channel right now, yours has expired or is about to expire, or you're looking to remove yourself from the relationship. That is a good thing. It stings, it hurts at first, I get it. But once you get the wisdom on channels like mine and many others, and again, thank you very much for being here, you understand you had to go through this relationship to get to this point in time. There was no other way. If there was another way, you would not have encountered the narcissist, but yet here you are. So when you're comparing yourself post-narcissistic relationship with the new supply or other individuals, I get it. It's what we all go through for a period of time. But my hope is that you quickly catch on and you understand you shouldn't be comparing yourself with anybody ever, because you are a unique, bright, shining light. You offer this planet something that no one else can, which is your uniqueness, what all of your life experiences, all the empathy you possess, all of the kindness, the love, and the consideration. These are all the things the narcissist took from you for a period of time, which was the length of the relationship. But no longer can they do that, because you, my hope is you've blocked the narcissist, gone no contact, deleted them, removed all flying monkeys and people associated with the narcissist. If you haven't, you should be doing so. Most certainly, you should be taking steps that benefit and insulate yourself to protect yourself from falling prey to another narcissistic relationship. And remember, having boundaries is imperative. Learning to say no is imperative. Being stern, but yet being kind. Placing your energy within yourself, not letting your energy just go out to people, random people, or people that don't care about you, or having people consume your energy. Like I mentioned, perhaps there are people there texting you, blowing up your phones, or calling you. Phones is for the narcissist. Phone. Or maybe they're texting you or calling you, and they're just consuming your energy, and you're not benefiting from it, and every time you hang up the phone, you feel drained. Well, I'm not saying that's a narcissist. I'm saying that that relationship needs to level off, and perhaps you should tone down how many times you answer the phone, or put a limit of minutes that you communicate with that individual. Now, were you good enough? Thinking that when you think you weren't good enough, you've always been good enough. You always will be good enough. You need to restore your confidence, and you need to understand that you have so many gifts to offer this planet. And you need to understand that the healing path is not linear. It will take time, but in time, in your time, you will heal. But you will have to do a lot of work. You will have to process childhood wounds, most likely. Understand why you were a people pleaser, why you didn't have boundaries, why the narcissist targeted you. Perhaps you're saying to yourself, well, Andrew, I keep going from narcissistic relationship to narcissistic relationship. Well, first of all, that's for a whole separate video, but I will tell you this right now. If it's the romantic setting or a friendship setting or a business associate, whomever it is, and you find yourself consistently being inundated by people who turn out to be narcissists or toxic individuals, that tells me one thing, that you really need to have boundaries, and you really need to limit the amount of things you share about yourself with complete strangers and or people that don't benefit you. Play that again. There are so many different layers to peel back of the onion on the narcissistic abusive cycle. One 15-minute video can't do it justice, but what I can tell you is understand what I'm mentioning. You've always been enough since the minute you were born until right now. So if you're doubting yourself or questioning yourself, perhaps the relationship has just ended, or it's at the tail end of ending, and you're thinking, wow, like I'm ruminating. I really want to get the narcissist out of my mind. I get it. What you need to do there is you need to understand that blocking them, not peeking at social media or thinking about them, I know it's hard, but doing these things will help you, and living your best life, meaning close the chapter on the narcissist. Don't give them your attention. Where you place your attention is where you place your energy. If you're finding yourself ruminating or thinking about them, wondering, was I good enough? I'm telling you, for about the 6th time in the video, you've always been good enough. I certainly am, and you are too. But you need to feel it. You need to believe it. You need to trust what I'm telling you. Words are very powerful, and the way you think and feel about yourself is extremely powerful. Meaning, if you're not using positive words about yourself every day, I strongly suggest you correct that. Meaning, if you drop a glass in the kitchen and you say, oh, I'm such a dummy, don't do that. That's not what you do. You say, okay, I dropped the glass, you clean it up, and you be kind to yourself and say, okay, I'll be more careful next time. But how you think about yourself in terms of words, meaning the way you communicate with yourself inside your mind, if you're speaking to yourself positively, it's amazing. Those are the ways that you can build yourself back up. If you're speaking to yourself in a negative connotation, that's not good. Same thing with the words you use publicly. When you're communicating with individuals, you should be using positive words, not tearing people down, and you should think before you speak. Now, this isn't a lecture on English. What it is letting you know that the way you feel post-narcissistic relationship, you're gonna have to put yourself back together, because when you're in the narcissistic relationship, you were certainly tore down or being ripped apart. You were being put down, you were being diminished, you were being gaslit, stonewalled, given silent treatment, you were being invalidated, and all this adds up over time. So once you've ended the relationship, or it has ended, you need to speak, the way you speak about yourself needs to be positive, because you need to hear good words about yourself, and they will start with you, and then they will extend out to others. They will see the way you're speaking about yourself and your confidence level, and then lo and behold, there you go. There are so many different things I could speak about in this video, but I'm trying to let you know you've always been good enough. So when you're thinking that you weren't, know that you were. It's a fact. It is 100% real. And I want to send you this message of love, hope, inspiration, and belief. Because if not now, when? The narcissistic relationship, the length of it was whatever period of time it was for you. My hope is it's over and you're moving forward and investing in yourself. And you're becoming the best version of yourself. So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from beautiful, rainy Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware, and understand you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. And believe in yourself. If not now, when? No matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. God bless you. I love you. Have a great afternoon, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right. Bye, guys. And it is chilly and wet. Really.